Eating VC. Alright, so we're going to keep things rolling since I'm posting videos left and right. Stunty stepped up to the plate and threw out the questions for the vinyl tag 2022. Andrew's on hiatus, which is fine. He's got kids. He's got things. Nobody get up in arms about it. A lot of questions and pretty damn good questions. And I wrote these down, and my handwriting is worse than a doctor's. So I'm going to try to figure this out as I go. I think the records will kind of guide me, because again, I'm fucking illiterate. First record I got in 2021. So I was in Savannah visiting a very good friend of mine. And when I'm in Savannah, I always go to Graveface Records, a phenomenal shop. And I always find killer records in there. And this was the first record I pulled January 2nd out of the bins. And that is Hugh Masekela introducing Hedzilla Sounds. And this is on the, I believe, Blue Thumb label, if I recall. There's a gatefold, original pressing, yeah, Blue Thumb. And a wonderful trumpet player from South Africa who we lost recently. So yeah, Hugh Masekela, beautiful record. Fantastic cover art. It just, popped out of the bins, and there it was. That's the first find of the year of 2021. So it was a hell of a good start. Now we're supposed to show the last record I got this year, and this arrived in the mail just in time, and that is Boris, Reincarnation Rose. Of course, Boris, heavy doom rock from Japan. I believe they may reside in England now, according to someone who likes to correct me. But yeah, this is on Fang's Anal Satan, and also Holy Mountain Printing out of Raleigh, who takes a month to ship anything. So just don't order from them unless you expect to wait forever. But here it is. It's an interesting looking piece of wax. Short song and then a very long, heavy song on the B side. But yeah, it's there you go. On those kind of, I guess those kind of remind me of a Virgin label. Boris, got to see them in Ash Vegas at Orange Peel. One of the best gigs I've ever been to. It was killer. So yeah, that's the last record of the year. Pre-order adventure. I was very pleased to see this question because, and I hate to say it, I'm sorry if you're watching this, Tim, but I'm happy you went through this with me, because this was fucking hell. And I honestly just wish they wouldn't have kept updating, because it was just like, they kept promising a date and promising a date and promising a date in every email. And it's like, stop promising dates. It's fucking ridiculous. And that was this one. Uncle Ronin 1. This was supposed to be in her hands, God, Jesus, probably in June. And it just arrived at the end of November, early December, somewhere around there. Absolutely ridiculous. Thanks, Adele, you heinous bitch. But there it is. Cheapo record of 2021. This is one of my favorite records that I found last year, and this is fantastic. And El Bico Feo is the channel. Dave Wayne, he's a drummer. He shows a lot of fusion records. Cheap Heat videos. He's a VC legend and a hell of a record collector. Knows his shit. And he showed this record, and I immediately went out and found it for less than $10. I got it. It was super cheap. That's Cloud Barthélemy. I'm not sure how to say this. Jean et Encore on the Cobalt label. Guitarist. This is killer stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Just, I don't have anything else like this. This is just phenomenal. And it does feature Henry Texier on the contrabass, which was another big selling point on this one. From France. Phenomenal. Look at these. Look at this. A wild ride, but a beautiful one. So that was my cheapo record. Record I spent the most on. So this is, I'm going to show two records because the record that actually cost the most is this record. And that's Papo's Blues on Music Hall, an original promo from Argentina. Phenomenal blues rock. Kind of remind you of Grand Funk a little bit. This is a killer record. I absolutely love this record. And this was extremely expensive record, but I traded in 125 rock records to Dylan and Noble Records and got credit towards getting this record. That's how expensive this record was. I still couldn't just pay for it out of those 125 records. I still had to fork out a pretty good chunk of change on top of basically the store credit I got. So this one technically was the most expensive, but as far as just straight paying for a record, that was this record and was my number one grail. So Milford Graves and Don Pullen Namo on the SRP label. Funds were diverted to the Polish Mafia for this. SRP in concert at Yale University. Don Pullen, phenomenal pianist. Milford Graves, percussion, drums, genius. Great free jazz here. That was the most I forked out for a record last year and was very happy to do it. Brand new artist, or as close as you can get to it. I really don't have anything that like is a brand new artist for 2021. This is as close as I can get. They had an EP in 2020, and then this is their first full length in 2021, and that's a hardcore band out of Philly, Rid of Me, and their new album Traveling, which I've shown probably a couple times in videos now. But female-fronted, former members of Fight Amp, which is a great Philly band. And this just kind of picks up where Fight Amp left off. Killer. All right. Record that got me out of my comfort zone. I picked this up at Amoeba in Los Angeles when I was there digging with all the guys, Sherv, Alex, Danny, Andrew, and Henry Derek Ellis. It was a hell of a dig. And I pulled this off the wall, and I honestly thought it was a different record of his. And because I don't have very many classical composers or anything in that realm. And this is kind of in the avant realm, to say the least. And that's Xenakis Persepolis on the Philips label, an original. I guess this is a French pressing. This is the most intense listen that there is. I mean, this is brutal on the ears. And this was a performance that he did, God, I think in Greece or something. I could be wrong, but I delved into this. I'm keeping this because it's so far out there that it's interesting. But man, if you want to clear a fucking room, put this shit on. I mean, if this is fucking brutality. All right, next, let's see what we got. Pride Dig of 2021 was in Tip Top, and I was proud of myself for remembering that there's a little section that Bill had pulled tons of great records out of when he came down in the summer in June, and we went on a dig with John. Bill always kills it at Tip Top, man. He finds the best shit. Bill's fucking sneaky good in the bins digging, man. I never even knew that section was in Tip Top, but it's kind of like where the krautrock is and just kind of the off the wall stuff. And so I usually bypass it. I still bypass it because I just always forget it's there. And as a matter of fact, I need to go back because there's a record in there I need to get. But I pulled this out one day. I remembered, and in there was John Hassel, Earthquake Island, original promo on Tomato. Nana Vasconcelos is on this. Miroslav Vitius, Badal Roy, who's phenomenal. Damum Romeo. Oh, what a lineup. This is an absolute gem that I got last year. So that was my Pride Dig. All right, next. Genre I am fully embracing. I really jumped into punk last year, head first. I mean, I really had only been into the DC scene, but I'd been in the DC scene probably my whole life. Fugazi was a huge influence on me way back. Lungfish, the Discord label. But I never really branched out into what was going on in punk. And I got to thank Vinyl Richie. He's the source. He's the source. And a lot of these bands I would not know about or were never checked out without Richie. He's a crazy bastard, but man, he is the man. And yeah, Dick's Kill from the Heart original press. I had a reissue, but thanks to Radio Wasteland in Michigan, I now have an original because this is one of my favorite punk records from Texas. Talked about this a bunch, but that's punk. Jumped in. Favorite cover art of 2021. No brainer. The Noise Band trio from Spain, KLS, and their album Noise Hits. Look at this shit. Look at these guys. Just triumphant posing. It doesn't get any better than that. That's the shot of the year from last year, right there. And for this to be, it's a comedic cover on a very brutal heavy record. All songs are like a minute long, just guitar, bass, drums, just 1 minute of slaying fools. Every song. Love KLS. Nothing going like it right now, in my opinion. Band from my youth. This was one of my favorite releases of this past year. I had the CD since it came out, and I got it from the band when I saw them live at Fredonia State. This is a band from New York City, Versus, and this is on the Team Beat label from 1993. So I would have been 20 years old when this came out. Love this fucking band. Fontaine Taups is just a goddess and a hell of a bass player. And this is Let's Electrify. Shall We? The EP that was only on CD, and it's finally on vinyl, and it sounds fucking great. And it's their best stuff for me. It really is. The Balliot brothers, Richard on vocal and guitar, and Ed Balliot on drums. with Fontaine Touts versus. So that was a band from my youth, before I was legally able to drink. Most anticipated of 2022, I don't have to show because I only have it digitally, and it was my #1 record of last year, oddly enough. And that is Kowloon Walled City, Piecework. The CD is in the mail. I should have it any day. I think next week. It was released in 2021. The CD's been on store shelves in 2021, but the vinyl is February at the earliest. The pressing plant was destroyed by the hurricane in Louisiana, so they had to start from scratch on the pressing, and it's, you know, a bunch of limited variants and how these new heavy bands like to do their thing. But Kowloon is, my friend Joe, we were texting about it last night. They're the best band of the last decade, bar none. If you like Pelican, Russian Circles, any of that stuff, add vocal and just even better heaviness, and you get Kowloon Walled City. It's fucking epic shit from the Bay Area. That's my most anticipated of 2022. Record I love but have not given much love to as of late. That's this record. I need to spin this. This is all-time shit. The Life and Times, No One Loves You Like I Do. I love this fucking band. They were originally from Kansas City, Missouri. They get together and play still some, but not as often. Lead guitarist is now in Chicago, I believe. The drummer, I think he's in San Francisco. And he kind of jumps back and forth to Japan quite a bit. Not as much now during the pandemic, but yeah, this is their best record. I saw them on this tour and filmed the gig in Atlanta at the Drunken Unicorn. And leaving the Drunken Unicorn, we drove through a tornado to the hotel. Actual tornado touched down in the city of Atlanta that night. It was absolutely bonkers. I remember talking to one of the guys that was at that gig, and he was loading out afterwards, helping load out, and he's like, the doors got blown open of the place and everything. It was wild shit. But yeah, this is a great record. Trio, all kinds of groove, rock. This is just, you know, rock. Great fucking band. Life and Times. Born out of the band Shiner. Record I got from family. I don't have vinyl, but I do have this CD I got from my mom for my birthday years and years ago, and it's one of my favorites. Pink Floyd, Delicate Sound of Thunder. This double CD. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Learning to Fly, Comfortably Numb. This is, you know, live. This is my favorite Pink Floyd release of all time, easily. Phenomenal. I would love to get this on vinyl. Would absolutely love to get this on vinyl. A turn point record that opened a new path. I would say this. This is a record that Sherv showed in one of his videos. And I appreciate the hell out of Sherv because he delves into the blues as well as his friend Jim. I don't watch many channels that show blues records. And so it's a genre I never really appreciated until those guys, you know, eloquently started talking about it. And I knew this was going to be one of the records I wanted to seek out. And I got it from Angry Mom. And I think they kind of screwed up because I got this for like $18 or something. But it goes for a lot. But it's Jimmy Fast Fingers Dawkins on the Delmark label, and it's a promo original, and it's electric blues from Chicago, and that's my deal with the blues. I really dig the electric players out of Chicago, and this record has everything you want in a blues record. This is just absolutely fantastic. You got Eddie Shaw on tenor sax, but yeah, it's all about Mr. Dawkins here. And yeah, now I'm kind of looking at more in the electric blues realm from Chicago. So we'll see how that goes this coming year. A non-music purchase. That would be this book, which I'm still in the middle of reading. I'm into the interviews with the musicians. And it's interesting because some of the musicians are on the side of the owner of ESP Disc and some are not. And it's pretty, there's no one really meeting in the middle. Bernard Stolman started ESP Disc in 1964. He paved the way for a lot of artists to get their start being recorded on vinyl and getting their records into shops. But he also stiffed them on the money. There's no doubt about it. He was a shiesty ass motherfucking lawyer from back in the day. What I mean is what it is. So it's kind of a give and take. Some of the musicians are very grateful that, I mean, that's just was part of the deal and they accept it, and then some, like Mr. Simmons, almost threw him out a window. Period. Like it took Bernard's mom to stop him from tossing him and ending him. Great book here from Jason Weiss, Always in Trouble, the oral history of ESP Disc, the most outrageous record label in America. Phenomenal book. And it's all interview, so there's no fiction here or opinion or anything like that. It's interviews with the artist and interviews with Bernard. So I highly recommend this book. It's cheap. It's on Amazon. Not that I want to promote riding in a penis to space, but here you go. Band from the past that I bypassed until recently. Now, yeah, that would be the Rolling Stones. And the reason being is I don't know, my mom's a huge Rolling Stones fan, so anytime I'd find Rolling Stones records, I'd send them to my mom. And honestly, Mazzy has been playing some of their stuff in the background in his videos. Recently, like one of the videos he did on his last trip to San Francisco, and it's awesome shit. And so I've always bypassed their stuff, but a collection came into Repo here, and it was a fantastic collection of 70s and early 80s originals, just minty. And so I grabbed this, and that's Exile on Main Street, and it's a first pressing with the postcards, the whole deal. And this is pretty much, to me, the Rolling Stones record to have. Phenomenal album. But there's some more of their stuff I need to get into now because of Maslow, bastard. Yeah, so that's that. And the other reason that I had them in my head was Mick Jagger. The night before their gig in Charlotte was in town, and he just wandered by himself over to the Thirsty Beaver, which is our dive bar here. Members only place, kind of a honky tonk. They'll have live music every now and again, usually country, alt country, rockabilly stuff. Bikers like to hang out there. Good place to get a cheap beer and a cheap whiskey. good outdoor seating out front. It's a tiny little place, but it is an eyesore for the developers because they refuse to sell the land, and they had to build this monstrosity of an apartment complex around it, where they're renting those out for, I don't know what, $2,000 a month or something like that, thinking they're fucking Brooklyn. Some clown shoes shit going on in this town. Anyway, that place is the big middle finger to all the BS that is going on in Charlotte. I love that place, and for other reasons. But let's just say it's called the Thirsty Beaver for a very good reason. Yeah. Let's see. Next question. The longest to file. So the record that took me the longest to file, and I talked about this in my best finds video. That's the Pupils on Discord. This took me forever. What did this come out in 2002? So it took me that long to get this record. I had the CD forever, and then I immediately wanted to try to find the vinyl, and just is gone, and it's been gone until Discogs came along, and finally I got a copy. Ace Osborne on guitar, Daniel Higgs on vocal, brilliant songwriter, very repetitive stuff, phenomenal album, and yeah, the one that took me the longest to file. Very pleased to have that record. VCLT. Got a lot of VCLT this year, and this one knocked my socks off. This is a killer fucking record. I've listened to this a lot. Chavez, Gone Glimmering. I got this from Dom at Seeking a Thread. I think he sent me another record too with this, African Blood. But this one, I'd heard of Chavez. My friend Joe had some of their stuff, but it'd been forever. From New York City, I believe. And yeah, this was out of print. So this is the first time in 12 years it was put on wax when they released this on Matador. I forget what year, but great guitars. I love guitars. And this is guitar-driven shit. Great album. So thank you, Dom. And then a record I would like to give as VCLT. Well, this is one I got as VCLT from Bill recently. He also sent a copy to Mr. Carlson, but I really also think that John Digital Gramophone would like this record too, so I might have to send a copy his way. But Collab and Embera Ensemble, Embera, Tuareg music with electronics thrown in from this guy from Italy, which makes it interesting, and it really works. Fantastic record. Thank you, Bill. All right. Let's see. Next record. Let's see. What is it? I can't read my own handwriting, so we're going to show this. A record that you bought not because of the main artist. This would be June Tyson's Tyrian Queen of the Sun Ra Orchestra on Modern Harmonic. She was in, the Sun Ra Orchestra, and obviously Sun Ra is the main character there, but these are just, little short pieces that have her featured. And this is one of the most wonderful listens of last year for me. I go back to this now a lot. Her voice is absolutely fantastic. A lot of singing about going to outer space, and I love it. But there's some beautiful stuff on the B-side too, and stuff that's never been released. Modern Harmonic is the shit. 2019, this was released. This is on Gold Wax. But yeah, June Tyson, the queen of the orchestra. Let's see. All right, a record I love that nobody talks about. This is an artist I never hear anybody talk about, and that's Vast from California. And this is the album Music for People. This was a RSD reissue. by Real Gone Music. This came out in 2000, so this is now 22 years old. John Crosby, brilliant songwriter, brilliant guitar player, one of his better records. I did meet him at a gig in Atlanta. He is an asshole. That's the only thing. He's not cool with fans. But goddamn, he's a hell of an artist. And hell, they even opened for Queens of the Stone Age once when I saw them in Spartan, Vegas, at Ground Zero, and that was the original lineup. That was really great. Queens of the Stone Age was on the R tour. Holy shit, what a show that was! In a tiny place. I mean, that was before Queens had really blown up. And then because I can't read my own handwriting and skipped a question, I think I'm going to show a record to dance to, and that is Fela Ransom Cootie and Africa 70, Expensive Shit. This is the Fela record to throw down on. I've DJ'd this record before at Tip Top, and the whole place was dancing. Kids, moms, everybody. So there you go. There's my vinyl tag 2022 lengthy video. Thank you, Stunty. These were really good questions. Peace.